Okay, so as a recap for yesterday, we went over the Pascal's triangle, okay? And using this triangle, we're able to use what we're calling the binomial theorem to basically make a shortcut to expanding this out into its full polynomial. So obviously, like, it'd be 2z plus 5k, and we do that 4 times because it's raised to the 4th power. So all that, 2z plus 5k, I know that doesn't look very good, but 2z plus 5k, and doing that 4 times and, doing FOIL for all of those, I mean, every time, first outside, inside, last, for every single one of those, do it for both and do them all together, and it's just too much multiplying. And it's just going to take forever. So what we have is this shortcut from the Pascal's triangle, and from yesterday's bell ringer, remember that to create this triangle, we basically send 1 down the sides of both of these pyramid sides. So you have 1 all the way down. Check back on your notes because everybody did this as a bell ringer yesterday. And then to fill in the rest of the blocks of the triangle, you take the 2 blocks that are leading into the next block you're looking for. So I got this block from 1 leading here and 2 leading here, and you add them together. So 1 plus 2 makes 3, and 2 plus 1 makes 3. All right, and so all of these lead in. So as you can tell, 1, 1, 1, all these ones on the side, they only lead into themselves. So they don't have anything else combining. So 1 and 3 add, they make 4. 3 and 3 add, they make 6. And 4. All right, and notice that we start at row 0. Then we got row 1. Then we got row 2. Then we have row 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Okay. So this number up here, the number that we are raising our binomial to, tells you what row we should be looking at to get our polynomial. And there it is, right there, row number 4, for this particular problem. Okay. So what we know is that we need to go ahead and write out this 4th line, and that's going to help us get started on knowing what our polynomial expression is. And by the way, we're going to have to put it all in this box. So get ready to do some typing. It's not going to be that bad because we've got this handy triangle that we're going to use. So 1, 4, so I'm going to try to make my numbers better, 6, 4, and 1 again. Okay. Now, what we know is that we have to raise our 2z up to our 4 power, and we need to raise our 5k up to our 4 power. And the 5k starts on this side and goes downward that way. And the 2z starts on this side and goes down that way. So that 2z term becomes 0 at the end, and the 5k term becomes 0 at this end. So we know that we're going to have a 2z raised up to the 4th power. So 2z raised up to the 4th power. So that means we're going to raise the z up to the 4th power, and we're going to raise the 2 up to the 4th power. So that means 2 raised up to the 4th power, yep, and that's 16. So what we're going to have is we're going to have 1 times 16z raised to the 4. Okay, and then we know also, and we're going to get this from the other side, but we know that our 5k term is going to be 0 there. We're raising that one up to the 0, so it doesn't even make sense to even put it there. So we're not going to have that. So what we're going to do is get our next one ready, and we're just going to plus all these, and we'll deal with any potential negatives inside the parentheses, so that way we can keep everything nice and organized. Let me get these parentheses ready. That's where we're going to put everything else. Okay, so we got our first term. By the way, that's to the 4th. I'm not doing very well drawing the 4ths today, so I'll try to improve that. Okay, next one we got to do is we have to raise our binomial up to the next row. So we need to go down the next row. So now we're going to be working with our second block. And as you remember, what I was saying is that 2z term, it gets raised up to the 4 as our first block. But now it's only going to get raised up to the 3. So for our number 4 slot, we're only going to raise it up to the 3. So that means that this z gets raised up to the 3, and the 2 gets raised up to the 3. And so 2 cubed, everybody should know, is 8. Type it in the calculator if you don't believe me. And we're going to have 8z raised up to the 3. But let's save some space on this one because we are going to have a 5k term, and that will be going in here. We'll take care of that in a minute. Let's just go ahead over to the next block where we're going to have 2z raised up to the 2 power now. So we're going down. We're 2 raised up to the 2 and z raised up to the 2. So I have 2 raised up to the 2 power, which would be 4. Let's just go ahead and put 4. And z raised up to the 2 power. In fact, let's move it, keep it moved over so that we can, and so we can have plenty of room to put our k's. You notice that I put a little bar on my z's to make sure that you know that they're not 2's. Okay, so last thing, we're going to have second to last thing really. We're going to have 2z raised up to the 1 power. And that really doesn't do very much to anybody. We're just going to have 2z because 2 raised up to the 1 is just 2. Z raised up to the 1 is just z. So we'll have 2 times z. And there's a good example of why I've got those differentiated. Why I've got 2 different symbols for z and 2 because they both look really similar. In fact, it's terrible. I'm going to just do this better. There's a 2. Still doesn't even look very much better. There's a z. All right, and we'll let our space for our k's be here. Because here we go. Because at the last section, of course, we're going to have 2z raised up to the 0, which just means that absolutely nothing's going to happen over here. There's not going to be any of those. That is not going to be there. So 2z raised up to the 0, that goes away, and it'll just be 1, and there's just no point of even putting it there because it's not going to show up. So don't put it there. All right. So we've got z to the 4, z to the 3, z to the 2, z to the 1, and nothing, because z to the 0 is just 1. All right, so that gives us time to go ahead and get started on our 5k process and move the other direction. So 5k, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with 5k raised up to the 4 power. Make it a little higher up. K gets distributed here on the k, and k gets distributed on the 5. So we're going to have k raised up to the 4. And 5 will be raised up to the 4. That's going to be quite a big number. Let's see what that is. That's going to be 625. Oh my goodness. Good thing we didn't put anything there for the z because I wouldn't have any room. So 625. So 625 K4. All right. Anyway, so now what we're going to have to do, and that was our first term for k. Now we're going to do 5k raised up to the 3. And we're going to move down the list, and we'll go to the other end of this polynomial, moving down the list, and that's going to go right here. So, oh my gosh, these numbers are going to start getting big. We know that we're going to have a k to the 3, but we also know we're going to have a 5 raised up to the 3. And 5 raised up to the 3 is 5 times 5 times 5, which is 125. So we'll multiply by 125 times k to the 3rd power. Starting to run out of room. Okay, so I hope we can barely hang in there. Next we're gonna have 5k raised up to the 2 power. So we'll just have 25 in here this time. We'll have 25k squared, and then lastly we're gonna have 5k raised up to the 1 power, which just means luckily all we have to put in here is 5k. And then we'll have 5k raised up to the 0 power at the last one over here, but we already know that that means that it will just be 1, so don't have to put it there. Okay, so now this is officially everything pretty much that we need to know. We just need to simplify this a little bit. So we can take, basically, we've done all that raising up business, but we've put it into little bubbles here that need to get multiplied by each one of those numbers from our Pascal pyramid row. Okay, which is 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. All right, so we're going to take 1 and multiply by 16. Well, luckily that just makes 16 z to the 4th. 16z to the 4. And now we're going to have 4 times 8 times 5. 4 times 8, z cubed. And then we're also having a times 5, k regular. So we're going to have 4 times 8 times 5. All right, and then and if you notice, we're going to have z cubed times k. So we might as well go ahead and put that there. We're going to have z cubed times k. So z cubed k. And then we'll get ready for the next term. So, but right here, what we're going to need is we're going to need our new coefficient, which is going to be the 4 multiplied, the 8 multiplied, and the 5 multiplied. So, all right, and so then my goodness, all right. So there you go. There's 160. The next one, obviously, is going to be 6 times 4 times 25. That one's 600. So that's a lot. I'm doing a video for tomorrow. All right, and then that's going to be z squared plus k squared. All right, so then I'm going to just multiply the rest of these as 6th period comes in. Hold on, guys. Let me finish this video. 8 times 125, which would be 1,000. And that's going to be z times k3. And then, of course, our 1 times 625, k4. So 625, k to the 4. That should be the answer that we are going to have to put into Khan Academy. Here we go. So I'm going to just go ahead and type this in and see if it is right.